What a year it has been, 2020, right? That's going to be one for the ages to remember and for a mixed bag of reasons. But as we stand on the verge of a new year, 2021, which was so awaited, my thoughts just go off to one of the most famous passages in the Bible. One passage that probably each of us know like the back of our hands. I'm talking about Psalm 23. And I'm talking about that wonderful picture that the psalmist King David paints for us when he talks about us being like sheep and God being like a shepherd. And why not? Because Jesus is the good shepherd. Psalm 23 verse 1, it says, "The Lord is my shepherd and I shall not want." Verse 3 says, "He restores my soul, he leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake." And verse 6 says, "Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever." It's such a famous psalm, and when you just stop and think about what really it says, there's so much to delve into, especially in the context of the kind of year we've had and looking forward to 2021. The world is rife with discussion talking about, is 2021 going to be the year when we get the vaccine? Is it the year when the virus strain goes bonkers with everyone? And while all this chatter is going on, we sit here quietly wondering what kind of a year is it going to be. And we do not know, because that's what it is in the end. We are humans and we can never tell the future, but we worship a God who knows the future and holds the future in his hand. A God who is already present in the future. And the best part about this is that he's a God who is a good shepherd. So when the Lord is our shepherd, what else can we want? What else can we hope for? What else can we ask for? No wonder King David says that he leads me in still waters and he makes me to lie down in green pastures. Because he's at rest with the fact that when God is the shepherd, there is nothing else to want or desire. But that is not the only thing. He goes on to say in verse 3 that he restores my soul. We all need that restoration, right? We've been drained physically, emotionally, mentally, the lockdown, and some of us getting sick, and the others getting COVID, and some people even passing away during this time. And all of that has just left us drained, and we need restoration. But that's not the only meaning of the word restoration here. In the original text, the word that King David uses in the language Hebrew, what it actually means is to turn someone away from a path and then take them in another direction. And what a joyful thought to think that this God is not just leading us, but he's going to turn us away and lead us into better pastures. He's restoring our soul. And why not? Because when you think about what really he's talking about is these are like sheep, and he's likening us to sheep. And sheep are very, they're very simple animals. They're well-intentioned animals, but they're simple animals. And oftentimes they go astray, and then the shepherd has to go after them. And despite this happening over and over, the shepherds don't lose patience with the sheep because they understand how sheep are. And you and I, we are like sheep. We are like that. We often go astray. We often go get lost in our own world. We forget about God and we are into our own things. But what a comforting thought it is that this God goes after us and he catches hold of us and he turns us back from the path we are, and he brings us into, and that's what the next part of that verse 3 says, that he leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. And then we come to the last part of this wonderful psalm, and it says, "Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life." You say, wait a second. Why would goodness and mercy follow us? Aren't we the ones in need of goodness and mercy? Shouldn't we be the ones going to God to obtain goodness and mercy? Well, because we are like sheep and we very often times don't realize what we even need. So when we go astray, God is an infinitely loving God, and that is why he understands where our minds are at. And so that is why his goodness and his mercies follows us. It chases us no matter what stage or season of our life we are in. His goodness and mercy follows us, and so ever so gently turns us back and brings us back to God. And that is why we can rest in assurance and confidence that we will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. As we head into a new year, 2021, we still do not know what it is going to bring before us, but we are confident in this fact, and we will rest in this fact that the God who holds the universe is also the God who is a good shepherd, who is leading us in the paths that he has paved for us way before we even knew about it, who's going to turn us when we go astray, and who's going to make sure that his goodness and mercy keeps coming after us so that he turns us away and he brings us to dwell in his house forever, ever and ever. Thank you.